Hello and welcome to the vlog. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I know you're not having a good day, are you?
No, better than the last few though.
Yeah, you were at the hospital yesterday.
Yep, 3 doctor's visits and then the hospital. Yep.
Earache.
Yep, it's the worst.
So what, inner ear infection or outer ear infection?
Outer ear. Yeah.
There's a wick in there now.
Yeah.
You can tell the side of your face just looks a bit, you know,
Yeah.
swollen. Your ear's actually quite swollen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll live.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
4 days out of action. I've been lost. You've been laid up in bed. Don't know what to do. But you're back.
Yeah.
You're back with me.
Trying to be.
Glad to have you back, darling.
Thank you.
The vlog last week or the week before, I think, I mentioned about a phoenix that we made. The purples with the silver. Someone asked us on YouTube to make one.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you who it is. It was Fishes Go Pook. Please do more fragrance and phoenixes. I really want a phoenix in black, neon green, and silver. and what did I say? It was purples and silver.
Bit of a mistake.
My bad. Okay. So that wasn't the one they wanted. This was the one they wanted. Neon green. What was it?
Black and silver.
Neon green, black and silver. There we go. So,
So cool.
it does. That looks really good. So if this is you, send me a message on Etsy. I have your phoenix. And so now we've got a purple one. So if someone wants the purple one, and we also did a blue one because we had some leftovers. That looks nice too, darling.
Yeah, it's got a hint of purple in it too.
The purple on the back looks absolutely amazing, actually. That looks really good. So yeah, so if you guys want this one or this one, they'll be in the store. And message me about this one because we did get it right in the end. What else is happening today? Much? Don't know. You know, there's meant to be a massive, severe storm today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently. And it's got that feeling about it too. You know, when you just got that feeling like there's going to be a storm today, like that real dry heat.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So I think what we're going to have to do is normally when we get the severe warnings, we clean out the garage next door so we can put your car away.
Yeah.
Since we don't want to get hail damage on your car.
No, we don't have a hail cover. So.
No, and we do get a lot of hail that come in from the west. So we're going to throw Nicole's car next door. We'll do that a bit later on. We'll get some work done first. What else is happening? I need to mold the eyes, don't I?
No, we've molded them already. You just need to take them out.
Yeah, I cast them. Sorry. Yeah. Do you want to grab them for me over there, darling? Yeah. So we have that to do. I've also got my alien to finish, which you guys would have seen in the last one. Have a look. I'm so impressed with that paint. Could probably take him off the blue tack now, since it has been a few days. Oh, that is strong blue tack. No wonder he took a tumble into the tray, didn't he? Yeah. If you guys missed it, I did try ambushing Nicole with water balloons. Now, hang on, disclaimer. I did do that before you had an earache.
Yes.
I didn't cause the earache, did I?
Was that side too? I bet it was you.
No way.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah, the old alien took a tumble in the back of the tray. But he's looking pretty good.
You fixed him up.
I did fix him up. Look at that. That chrome. It looks so good, hey. So if you guys missed it, I 3D printed that. And I've just got to do green glow in the eyes. And then we're going to get a skull and work out how
to put him in.
Yeah, so we want him sort of not all the way in the bottom, but sort of half suspended.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking clear.
Yeah.
Clear down to here maybe, and then a secondary color, which I'm thinking this green would be nice. What do you think?
Yes, the neon green.
Yeah, so maybe even
to tie it in with the
You know what? I actually like all those colors together.
Oh, yes, the black, silver, and
yes. Imagine that, and that being the base.
That would
cool. That'd look really cool. Now the other thing we have to do today is the jewel eyes for this one, for this skull. So we need to put the diamondy looking eyes. Hopefully we can get that out of the silicone.
Yes.
Because when I did it, looking under here. They're tiny holes, aren't they?
They are.
Do you reckon we'll be able to pop them out? I feel like it's going to be a bit like Pimple Popper.
Oh.
You know, give him
Squeeze it out.
give him a good squeeze. So we'll see. Do you want to do that now, actually? Do you want to try and pop these out? What do you reckon?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, let's try and get these out. Now, I think, oh no.
And it came off easy.
I was about to say, I think I need to get a blade, but that was easy. So that was when you use cheap cups. Okay, so there's our mold. Now, what do we think? Are we going to get them? Well, they're separating well.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Okay, we ready?
Okay. Squeeze that pimple.
Pop. Oh, that's a big blackhead. All right.
It's all sticky too.
Actually, that was pretty easy. I'm really impressed with that. There it is.
Well, that's a good sign for moulding them.
Yeah. Okay. So now...
What colour are you going to do them?
Well, I'm thinking, right, so this is our glowing skull, which glows really well. I'm thinking I kind of want to use the same... I think this was dragon blue?
Yes.
Maybe dragon blue with some glow again, but maybe we pigment it a little heavier this time.
Oh, a little darker, yeah.
Yeah, because we went really light.
Yeah.
And we'll pour them, pop them out. So basically then what we're going to have is, once we pop them out, is we're going to have these that'll kind of sit something like that.
Yeah.
By the time I glue them in. So that's the plan. So I think what we might do is we'll mix up some resin and we'll get these poured now. What do you reckon?
Good idea.
So I was just having a thought. We only need a tiny amount of resin for this. And it's very hard to mix a small batch of resin and get the ratios right. So I think what I might do is mix up some resin for the skull that the alien's going to go into. But before I do that, I need to just get his green eyes in there and get him into position. And then I'll mix up some resin, get the clear in there, and then the leftovers we'll be able to put into here. So my plan for this one is our green, which I call the Kermit green, and then we've got some blue-green glow. So I just need some UV in the shot glass, not too much. Now for a bit of green. Make sure you give your pigments a good mix before you put them in. Now I don't need to go too crazy because I've only got a little bit of UV in there. Okay, now for some glow powder. Another good mix.
Thickens it up, hey?
It does thicken it up. You can hear it, it gets a bit gritty. Now, all I'm going to do, I've got my little alien here. I might actually take it off the blue tack. Now, because I'm lucky enough to have the sun beaming behind me, I'm going to pop the green in and then take it straight out in the sun.
Oh, that's so bright.
It looks
good.
It looks really good, doesn't it? Now, I don't want to go too much. Just going to move it around so it all gets covered. Okay, now straight out in the sun. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's do the next one. Okay, same again. Just move it all around to get covered. And now, straight out in the sun. So while I got him out in the sun, getting his eyes all set, I've been having to think about how I'm going to put him into this skull. Now I'm thinking I probably want him facing out, because if he faces in, you're not going to see him too well because of the eyes and that. So I think we'll have him facing out, and I'll probably, when I cast it, I'll have it on an angle. Similar to how we do the coffee beans. So I want kind of clear across here on the angle, and then once that's set, we can fill it up with the green and silvers and blacks, and I think it's going to look really good. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this little riser onto the bottom here. And then once I've done that, I'll be able to glue this stick on, which will then be able to sit on top of the skull. So I just want a little dab of hot glue, nothing too crazy. We'll get our riser on there. And now one more dab for our paddle pop stick. Now the reason I don't want a lot of glue is because once the head is molded in the skull, I need to be able to pop these off without disturbing the skull mold, because what I don't want to do is play with it too much and create an air gap around the clear that I poured. Otherwise the next color will go around it. So now that that glue's all dry, we can position him in the skull. So it's really important that I get this guy exactly where I want it, so I can see in there, so he's facing nice and straight. Now what I can do is just hold this up to a light, which in my case is the sun. It's a bit hard to see on camera, but I can see a shadow in there, so I can kind of see where he's positioned. And then what I'm going to do is, once I know that he's in a sweet spot, I'm going to take some more hot glue, put some dabs on the stick here, that way it doesn't move. Then I'm going to go put this inside the pressure pot on the angle that we need. Then I can mix up some clear and get going. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
You're not doing too good, are you?
No.
Had some more painkillers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they don't really work for earaches, so.
Nah. Earaches like one of the worst.
Anyway.
Like earaches and toothaches
Yeah.
are just horrible, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe you should go inside and lie down, darling.
Maybe.
Yeah. I got this vlog. Maybe.
Go solo.
Go solo. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I do need my wingman. All right, I'm going to get this into position and then start mixing some resin. So I've now got my skull into position. I've got it on a couple of pieces of wood there just to get the angle that I need. I've got my paddle pop stick all glued down. I think it's looking pretty good. I think I can get my clear mixed up now. So for this one, I'm using Art Cast, slow set, and mixed at a ratio of 3 to 1. So 300 of A, 100 of B, gives me 400 all up. Now the weather is starting to get really warm. It's actually quite a hot day today. So my pot life's going to be reduced. I normally get about 20 minutes to half an hour, but I think it's going to be a little less today. Okay, now I'm going to give it a quick degas in the RESINERS machine. This is the Airless Pro. 5 minutes should do it. Make sure my bung's in the back. Okay, we are all done. Nice and clear. Now I can get it into my skull. Now, I think I might put you guys down for this. I don't feel like doing it one-handed because I don't want to stuff it up. So I'm going to put you guys down, pour the resin, and then we'll take a look. Okay, I finished pouring in the clear. I did actually lay the skull down a bit further because I was a bit worried that the base was going to poke into the clear, and we don't want that. We just kind of want his head and his neck. So I think it looks pretty good. Now I can get the lid on we'll get some air in here and then leave it to cure. All right, the pot is pressurized, so now I've got my leftover clear. I'm going to add my Dragon Blue, and I'm also going to add my blue-green glow pigment. So I'm going to have to throw you guys back in the holder for this one. Now, like I said before, I want this one to be fairly opaque, so we're going to use a fair bit for this small amount of resin. What do you guys think of that? So that's going to be the contrast, those two there. I think it's going to look pretty good. Now for some glow powder. Now I just got to pour it into my mold, and then we can get this into the pressure pot to cure. I made a bit of a mess, but it'll be all right. So I was just inside doing some editing, and Nicole just texted me and said the radar's not looking too good. How are we looking there, doll?
It's coming.
Oh, it is coming. Oh, yeah, there's some black and red in.
Black and red in that. That normally means hail.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, I think what we might do is I'll get Courtney's car moved. I'll just check in here. Normally to get the car in, all we have to do is push my lathe up against the wall. This we might just throw next door. The stools are out of the way. Yeah,
I got most of the stuff out of the way.
It is a tight squeeze to get it in. We don't have much either side, but
you're pretty good at manoeuvring it. So.
Yeah, yep. All right, well, I'll get the lathe moved, we'll get the table moved, and then we'll get the car in here. Okay, we've got everything out of the way. It is looking a bit nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's where it's coming from, over in the west there. All right, let's jump in and get your car in. I think what I might do is I might just show you guys the footage from the camera of me getting it in. Might be entertaining, probably not. And just like that, we're in. I mean, it's not too bad. Got a few inches there, and obviously enough room there for me to get out. I think it's all right. I think while we're waiting for this storm to hit, we might pull our frogs out that we poured the other day. We've got a good range of colours there, hey doll?
Yeah, let's hope we don't break any toes.
Yes, we want no toe breakage. We want them all to stay intact. There's some good coloured ones. Oh, that'll be interesting. Now, I can't remember, we took turns in pouring these, didn't we? I can't remember what I did and what you did. Oh, well, I think what we'll do is we'll get all these out and then we'll show you guys what they look like. So the storm's getting closer, but I did check the radar and it looks like it might go below us, so we might actually miss it. But we did manage to get all the frogs out. Have a look at these. Look at the sunset colours. Do you like that, doll?
I do.
We did a couple of them. And look at this one. Do you want to show them that one?
That's my favourite, this one.
That looks so good, hey?
Yeah.
So yeah, nice range of colours. We did have a couple where the pigment was a bit funny. So looks like we've got some pouring frogs to do.
Yeah, we just do some paint splat.
Paint splat, yeah. That looks pretty good. How's the radar looking? It's split into two.
It has.
Oh, we might still get it. It is petering out a little bit though.
Yeah.
Hopefully not as bad as we first thought. But yeah, I think these look really great. These should be in the store very soon. Now, since it looks like this storm may end up missing us a little bit, we're going to get to probably the whole reason you clicked on this video, which is a new machine that we got from RESINERS that might actually help save your life. This is their new RESINERS Pure Air, and it's meant to reduce the VOX in the air, which are the dangerous vapors. So we're really keen to try this. Now, they did ask me if I wanted to check it out, and I jumped on it straight away and said yes, mainly because you have to wear your face shield
Yeah.
because you get the vapor burn.
Vapor burn, yeah.
And I'm really hoping that this could at least reduce it a little bit.
Yeah.
Hope so anyway. It might not, but we're going to test it out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
We're going to test it out. Now, I do have a VOC meter, a dangerous gas meter that lives on the wall inside my workshop. We don't need it in here, mainly because we've got this big open door. We've got another door there. We've got fans. This is a well ventilated shop, whereas my shop, as you can see, stays closed up. So I keep a monitor in there, but what I'm going to do is once we get your car back out, darling, I'm going to bring the monitor in here,
Yeah.
set a baseline,
Okay.
then we can mix some resin, not using it,
Yep.
see what the VOCs are. Then obviously I'll shut everything up, so I'll shut it up so it's airtight. We'll do some mixing, we'll see what the VOC reading is, then we're going to run this and see if it makes it better. Because we do have a lot of crafters that follow us that either have apartments or flats, you know, and they can't really work with epoxy. They only kind of do the UV resin.
Yes.
So we'd like
might
to
be able to help them do
yeah,
epoxy resin.
yep. There is a Kickstarter link in the description if you guys want to check it out. Or wait until we know if it works, because who knows, it might not work. We're doing an honest review here, so I think we get it open. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, you got a knife there. You reckon you
Oh,
can
yeah, I got a blade.
you can fruit ninja it open for us? Watch those digits. It is. I can hear some thunder. It's. I think it is getting close. It was a nasty bit out there.
I can't even hear it.
Oh, of course. That's because you've got your.
I've got an earful of
Can you
cotton.
see it? Might be a bit hard to see. You got a wick jam down in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's have a look here. Hopefully,
Instruction manual
instructions.
that you don't read.
No, I generally don't read instructions. Although I should, because as we know, I bought a pressure pot that had my pictures in it. Which, if you guys are wondering, we're still ongoing with that. There'll be a whole video about that at some stage. Anyway, let's have. Ooh, jeez, that's I love the colour.
Yeah.
Oh, it matches their mat.
It matches their other machines too.
Oh, it does too. Look at that. Oh, I like it. It's a bit of a unit. I didn't expect it to be so big, but I guess that's good, right?
It is. I think it's good.
Because it has to filter a lot of air,
Yes.
doesn't it? It looks very fancy. What do we got up
It's like
here?
one of the ones I saw at the hospital yesterday.
Says the TVOC sensor detects alcohol gas. Better avoid long exposure to high alcohol environments. I can't get that off. Like I said, I've got a proper that I paid a lot of money for. I don't think I'll be able to show you actually, because the car will be in the way. Actually, I could probably get down here. So I paid a lot of money for this. If I can get to it. Okay, so that there is my VOC meter. Well, it detects a lot of things, and you just wave your hand over it, and with it being green, it means the air's good. The air quality is good. So what we will do, it's just magneted to the wall, is we'll take this next door, we'll let it get climatized, and then we'll be able to throw this on the wall and see whether or not this machine is actually worth buying or not. Some more thunder. It's definitely coming. I think we're going to get a bit of it. I just grabbed the VOC meter off the wall.
You could get it.
I shimmied my way past the car. Now, it is going to take a few hours
Okay.
to climatize to this environment.
Yep.
So what we might do is we might take this, and do you want to go put it kind of near where we're going to position it?
Yeah.
So the plan's going to be we're going to mix some resin on Nicole's bench there, and we're just going to I might actually, if you leave it there for now,
Yeah.
it'll climatize, and then when we're ready, I'll put it on the wall.
Oh yeah, good idea.
So that we have a good reading. How'd you go? Did you get that sticker off?
I did.
You did?
Yep.
Wow, it's a unit. Big boy, I like it.
So do we? I think we might have to open this bottom bit because it's got plastic on the filter.
Oh, that'd make sense because it's one of these vapor or gas filters. It'll filter the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Same as our masks that we wear. Oh, look at that. You don't even need instructions.
No, because it's got little arrows.
Oh, we don't.
Look.
Cool, we don't need them. What else have we got in there?
It's got a plug.
It's got a plug.
So I'm assuming, oh, yep, plug goes in there.
Plug goes in there.
Yep,
I like how we're doing this with no instructions, which is great because normally I get in trouble for not reading instructions. And now you're doing it.
It looks pretty easy.
It does look pretty easy. Now, is that, do they call it like a HEPA filter or something like that? I mean, I probably should. I probably should read these. I'm being naughty. Here you go, doll. Have a look. Let's find out what type of filter's in there.
Yes, it's a H13 True HEPA compost filtration system
Cool.
to purify the air.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's slap it together then. I want to hear it. I'm really hoping it's not loud.
Yeah, I hope it's not loud.
Yeah, because that's what we don't want.
Plug it in there. And there's a lock it in place.
Cool. Well, let's just plug it in, and I want to hear this thing. I want to hear it fire up. And then what we'll do, once this storm passes, we'll get some resin mixed. It may even be tomorrow. We'll continue this vlog on. You guys will definitely get to see this in action, but it may be tomorrow for us. But let's have a listen.
Okay, where does this get plugged into?
Was it on, did I see it on the back here somewhere?
Oh, yep. There we go.
Plug it in. Plug it in up there. Don't forget, turn it on. And then, wow. It's got fancy lights. I like that. I wonder if that's kind of like the my other meter. You know, where you wave your hand on it and it tells you red is bad,
Oh, okay.
green is good.
Maybe.
Maybe. We just
Yes, it does.
Oh, does it?
I think it does.
Oh,
Green, yellow, and red.
There you go. Very good. So that way you can tell without even, like, at a glance, you can tell whether your air's good or not. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna turn it on. Let's see. It actually has a VOC reading up here as well. Now, I trust that, right? But that's going to be my proper, because that cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, you go by that.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
So I can kind of feel a bit of air coming out of here. Let me turn it up.
So it says when powered for the first time, the TVOC sensor needs to preheat for 3 minutes.
So that's full power. That's full power. I'll show you how much. Ready? Have you got a tissue, darling, or a bit of paper towel? Let's give them the paper test. Okay.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, it is pretty powerful, isn't it? Now, as far as the noise goes, considering that's full blast,
Not very loud.
that's not too bad.
No.
I mean, I could probably talk a bit quiet like this, and you could probably still hear me. No, that's not too bad at all, actually. And that's full speed. And that's on the quiet mode, which is, wow, doesn't even sound like it's on.
No.
But you can still feel the air coming out. We got the Celsius Fahrenheit. So we're 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. I knew it was warm today. And then obviously timers, I'm assuming, auto. Very good. Okay. Well, like I said, let's let this storm go away, and then we can give this thing a proper workout. Well, it definitely looks like we're going to get it. So I've just set up a little time lapse for you guys. Starting to get a bit rowdy out here. Thunder's getting a bit loud. Ooh. Yo, did you see that one? I think I might step back in here. Well, as you can see, it's now the next day and it looks like we're going to get some more rain, but that's all right. Now, I have set up the air purifier in the corner here, and I've got my air quality meter set up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix up a cup of resin just in front of here. I'm going to let it heat up to start producing some dangerous vapors. Then we're going to measure the VOC levels. Then I'm going to pour it into a mold and we're going to let it cure and we're going to monitor the levels. Then we're just going to repeat the process, except this time with the air purifier on, and see if it makes a difference. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but it's just started pouring rain. I've put the roller door down so it doesn't blow in, and I've set up the VOC meter to have a look to see where we're at, and our level is 208 parts per billion. Now, that actually isn't too bad. Normally it starts to affect you at around 400 parts per billion with a bit of eye irritation, nose, throat, things like that. If you get upwards of 2000, that's when it's probably serious health risks. So 200, not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not too bad. But I thought what we should do before running a test is let's just put on the air purifier and see if we can bring it down. You know, I mean, we're here now. Let's just do it. Now, it's pretty simple. We just got to turn it on. It fires up. Now, you don't get a true reading for about 3 minutes, I think it says. But yeah, got green lights on. We're sitting at 208 parts per billion. It's 9:08 in the morning. Now, I think what we might do is I've got a GoPro here with time lapse. Let's just set it up there so we can watch it in real time and see exactly what's going on. So you fire this up. Now, I'm going to close the door behind me when I walk out, and we're just going to leave this running so we can see what it is. And yeah, and then we'll know whether this is going to pull my VOCs down. So that's probably not a bad test to do straight up, hey, before we mix any resin. Let's just see if this thing can purify the air that's already in here. So let's get to this time lapse. Still raining. Let's have a look. It's been about 20 minutes. Where are we at? 9:30, 76. That's not bad. Let me turn this fan speed down. 76 VOC levels. What's that, about 22 minutes? That's not bad, actually. What's that, 60% roughly? Not bad. I think what we might do is let's mix up some resin, get some heat generating, get some vapors going, and we'll see what the VOC levels are. I think the first test we'll do without the purifier, just so we got a bit of a baseline, and then we'll repeat it with the purifier on. And then hopefully we see some results like this, you know, which isn't too bad. Now, the resin I use, ArtCast, it is a low VOC resin. So I doubt we're going to see any crazy numbers. Most resins these days are low VOC or no VOC, which are pretty good. But I guess VOCs come in everything. Nail polishes, paints, furniture. You know, there's so many things that have VOCs, which is volatile organic compounds. Nearly forgot. Yeah, so a lot of things can give off a VOC. So you might not be doing resin, you might be doing other crafts, and looks like this purifier may do the job. I mean, if it does reduce the VOC by 50%, that's a win, isn't it? So let's get some resin mixed. Like I say, we'll use our ArtCast. We'll mix it up, we'll mix a cup, we'll sit it here. We'll let it fume up. Now, you will notice it says air quality is poor. Now, that's because the humidity jumped up to 70%. Because of all the rain we're having. Typical Queensland, you know. Heat and rain and gets muggy, but that's all right. We can live with it. Yeah, let's get the resin mixed and get going. So like I said before, the epoxy resin that I'm using is low VOC. So, you know, it doesn't give off a lot of those harmful fumes. But if you're using like a polyurethane resin, they can be quite bad. They can give off a lot of fumes. I have used them in the past and they can be quite stinky. So I guess for this test, we're not so much looking for low Vox, because we know we're probably already going to have low Vox. But I guess what we're looking for is a reduction in percentage. So, you know, if we can reduce our Vox by 50%, even though our Vox levels are low, if you guys are using a polyurethane, you know, you might go from 400 to 200. So you're getting out of that 400 range, which can start the irritations and things like that. So that's when it's going to become useful. Okay, I think we are pretty well mixed now. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to let this heat up, because once it heats up, that's when it's going to start giving off its nasty vapors. We'll put it fairly close to the meter. So we are at 58 Voc level now, and it is 9:41. So I'm assuming maybe 20 minutes, half hour, that'll really start to heat up. So we might just leave it for a bit, and then we'll come back and we'll see where we're at. So I've gone ahead and got a mold ready. I've also got some pigment paste, because we don't want to waste our resin. But have a look at this. It has been about 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes, and we're up to 84. So it's definitely reading some Vox off that resin. So we'll give it a bit longer, because it's not quite hot yet. It's still sort of warmish. So we'll let it heat up, and then we'll check back. So it is now 9:59. It's been nearly 20 minutes. The Vox have risen to 89. And look at the CO2, 1012. Probably because I've been in here breathing. The resin's starting to get quite warm. So I think we should really look at starting to put some pigment in there and getting it poured, because we don't want it to flash cure on us. But it is interesting to see the Vox going up. We started at 58, so we've kind of just under doubled. So yeah, let's get some pigment in and get pouring into this mold. I'm just going to sit you guys back down here. Hopefully you can see everything. So I'm just going to pour some of this resin into another cup so we can get both colors going. I have picked out sour grape. I love this color. It's like a pinky purple, I guess you'd call it. And I've also picked out Maya Blue, which is also one of my favorites. I love the pastels. Okay, what I might do is we'll put this mold right in front of the meter. Okay, let's pour a bit of blue. Now for some sour grape. Back to blue again. Yeah, it's definitely starting to get warm now. It's almost getting to the point where I can't hold the cup. A bit more grape. Now I don't think our mold's very level, but that's okay. This is just an experiment. Okay, let's do a quick refresh. See where we're at. Okay, we've jumped to 108 on the Voc and 1127 on the CO2. 10:02. Let's let this set now. I'd say we'll give it probably 20 minutes to half an hour is when the resin kind of starts to get really hot and does its thing. We'll set up the time lapse again on the GoPro so we can see what's going on. Hopefully that's a good shot of it. So yeah, I think we'll just let that run now. So it has now been about 15 minutes since we poured. You'll notice I got my respirator on. It did start to smell a little bit, so I thought, hey, why not put it on? You will notice that our Voc levels are starting to drop. We're down to 88. I think we did peak at 110. Now you'll also notice the CO2 has dropped to 941. Now that's because I have my respirator on and it's now filtering my CO2. So that's looking pretty good. The numbers are starting to come down. I don't think they're going to go back up now. So I think 110 was our peak at around the 15-minute mark, or just before 15 minute. So I think what we might do now is we'll get this roller door open, get all this bad air out of here, we'll get the levels back down, then we'll repeat the test with the air purifier on. Looks like it's still raining too. So it has now been about 40 minutes since I lifted the roller door, and our VOC levels now down to 46, and look how low our CO2 is. So that's looking pretty good. So I think what I'm going to do now, we'll drop the door again, we will fire up the air purifier, get some resin mixed, and see how this thing actually performs. Okay, now while I'm turning this on, I probably did a really bad job of explaining these buttons yesterday. So as we can see up here, we have the temperature, which is currently in Fahrenheit. Swap that to Celsius. We have a timer, which is this button here. You can set a timer to go off all the way up to 9 hours. We also have an auto button. So if you push auto, a little auto comes up there, and it basically senses the air quality. You can hear it ramping up now. So it ramps up and goes back down. So that's the auto button. Obviously we've got our fan speed, low, medium and high. We have our humidity, 74%. And also our TVOC reading. Now, it does take 3 minutes to sense all the air before you get a true TVOC reading. So make sure you do let it warm up before you take notice of any of these numbers. So that is the air purifier itself. Now, I think what we're going to do, it's obviously red matching my meter here. Obviously because our humidity is quite high. So what we're going to do, we have jumped to 56 on the VOC level, which pretty much matches. We had 58 last time, so that is going to be a very good baseline to start with. Let's get mixing some resin and see how this performs. Okay, it is 11:05. We're at 56 VOC, 495 CO2. We'll leave the resin here. We'll check back in 15 minutes, and hopefully it's a lot less than the 108 that we had before. So let's go to the time lapse, keep an eye on it. So it is now 11:17, so it's been a little over 10 minutes. Our VOC has dropped to 52. We're at 566 on the CO2. I've got myself a fresh mold. We're going to use C for Courtney this time. The resin is starting to warm up a little bit, but I reckon we've got about another 10 minutes before we hit the peak level to where we can start pouring. So we'll just keep an eye on this, and then we'll check back in 10 minutes. So it is now 11:25. We are at 58 VOC and 564 CO2, and our cup is starting to get warm, real warm actually. So what we'll do now is we will mix our colours and get it poured into our mould. Okay, we'll put the mould a bit closer. Hopefully that's about where the last one was. And let's get pouring, give you guys a better look. So we're now at 61. Let's get some grape in. Okay, resin is in the mould. 11:27, 61 and 563. Let's just keep an eye on it now, see what happens. It is now 11:32 and I've just seen the first drop in VOCs. We're down to 59, so 61 was the highest I saw. We're now down to 59, so maybe we could have reached our peak already. So it is now 11:37, so it's been 32 minutes. We've dropped to 50 on the VOC level, 568 on the CO2. I've got to admit, I'm really impressed with that. Let me turn this fan speed down. 568, that's brilliant, because the last test we were at like 1100 and something, I think it was. So half the CO2. How good's that? Yeah, VOC levels, 50. We got to 108 last time, or 110, I can't remember. So 50% reduction. Now, even though our VOC levels are still quite low, they're not anywhere near the harmful range, 50% reduction. So let's say you are using a volatile gas or vapor, this could potentially reduce it by 50%, which would then be very beneficial. Now, there is one other thing I did want to point out, and that is the units of measurement. So this one uses milligrams per cubic meter, and that one is parts per billion. So that's why that's 50. This is around the 0.6, somewhere around there. So just in case you're wondering why the two numbers were different, it's two different units of measurement. So look, I got to be honest, I was skeptical. I wasn't too sure if this was actually going to work, but same conditions, room locked up, same starting VOC, same times on the resin, same amount of resin. I even tried to pick the same size mold. So look, everything is working okay. Like, I guess, you know, it's got to be up to you guys whether or not you want to try this thing out. But from my test, it seems to be working okay. So if you do want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description where you can go find it. But I think it's pretty good. Now, I am going to go find Nicole and see if she is up for an outro. How you feeling, darling?
Heaps better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're looking better.
Yeah.
The swelling's gone down quite a lot,
Yeah,
actually.
it's gone down heaps.
That's good. Glad to have you back.
Thanks.
Just quickly, before I go on, I forgot to talk about the filter. Now, it says here that the filter should be replaced every 4 to 6 months, and the pre-filter should be cleaned every 2 to 4 weeks. So, yeah, just some info that
you need to make sure you do that.
I slacked on there. It worked really good.
Yeah.
It reduced the VOCs by 50%.
Wow, that's really good.
And another big thing I noticed was the CO2.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like almost 50% as well. So
oh wow, that's awesome.
I'd actually like one for the bedroom, to be honest.
Oh yeah, when you close your bedroom up, you've got two dogs in there.
Dogs and us breathing.
Yeah.
And I'd like to reduce the CO2.
Yeah.
Is it bad for your high CO2? I'm not too sure.
I think so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, if you guys want to try it out, there's a link in the description. But for what I tested, it seemed to be okay. Might not work for you. I'm not too sure. I don't want to guarantee it's gonna save your life or anything like that, you know. But I can only show you the test I did, and it worked out well. Yeah. I'm actually really interested to see if it's going to stop your vapor burn.
Yes, that'll be interesting.
Then you don't have to wear those masks anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, you keep it on in the background. Put it on auto, just let it do its thing.
Yeah, well,
you know?
that's right. Yeah.
Put it on auto, and if it senses it, it's just going to ramp up by itself, isn't it? So,
yeah.
We did forget question of the day. I think this vlog's running overtime. So I thought what we might do is we'll pick 2 for the next one.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
So if you have a question, hashtag question of the day, leave it down below for us. If you like this video, let us know by hitting the like button. Really helps us out a lot. And I think that's about it, hey?
Yep.
I'm going to wrap it up. Still looks a bit like stormy, rainy looking out there.
Yeah.
But it is a little brighter, so that's nice. We hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.